all has to stay together. If Loner did a drop in the main of NEXGenius, if he even walked a couple of units around the side, he would be able to do so much damage, but Loner is being way too passive at this phase in the game.
You know, Day9, you are so smart because that is so right. He needs to split up what NEXGenius is doing, and by pushing the front, he just plays into the little choke area that NEXGenius wants him to be in right here. As you see, the Colossus are going to do a lot more damage in that area. Loner needs to just sit, you know, take a fourth base and harass. Going through this area is not the place he wants to engage.
Looks like he wants to bait him back over here. Get these Vikings in here. The battle begins again.
The Vikings hitting these Colossus, one down. Looks like the second will fall soon, and he is kiting right back to that planetary fortress. These Vikings are making the difference, though. One Colossus left, and Loner is in even a better position than before, perhaps.
And it looks like he, takes out all the Colossi, and those poor Archons, too slow from the concussive shell, going to get kited so well, and now Loner is darting up, going to be able to pick off an Immortal. The Vikings land. Loner is trying to end this base right now, but NEXGenius, again, with a huge surge of forces from nowhere, might be able to hold this off. That one Immortal's doing so much damage, he needs to kill it off, but he's not target firing it. There it goes down. Will he be able to stay alive?
I can't believe this. It looks like he is going to fight it off, but he lost all his Vikings during that. So if NEXGenius holds this off, which it looks like he's going to, Loner cannot easily replace so many Vikings, which did almost nothing during that battle. It was completely overzealous and uncalled for.
That was a disaster. When he landed that, I thought, oh no. Loner gave up his advantage. He should have kept those in the air and just picked up the Colossus and retreated. So we're back to an even game again. I can't believe this keeps happening.
116 to 121 supply. I can't believe it. These guys, they do so well to outplay each other and then throw away the advantage attacking in. What else can I say?
Seems like Loner every game has at least one Leroy Jenkins Marauder. And there's the Nexus up at the north going down, and that poor Marauder didn't manage to make his way home, but that fourth base from NEXGenius is exactly what he needs to be doing, but Loner is not doing what he needs to be doing, which is using medevacs for drops, moving around the map with small forces.
And it looks like right now, Loner's getting ready to take his fourth. Same timing as NEXGenius's fourth. These two are like a mirror.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Note this is an orbital command, not a planetary fortress, so that means you can call down mules, which are basically like super SCVs. You'll see them mining every once in a while. Well, none right now. Oh, wait, what? Are we going to have a nuke?
There is a nuke.
There's a nuke building. There it is.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's a nuke.
There's a big confrontation going on in the middle by the left. Zelnaga watchtower. Big EMPs taking all those units out. It looks like it's going to be an even trade unless he can take out these Colossi, but without any Vikings at all. The Colossus are free to do as they please. Oh no! All the gateway units are down. He can run up and actually deal damage directly to those Colossi. And here, two Vikings come up a little bit late, take out one of them, and it looks like they're target firing the weakened one, and that falls. And Loner is having to. Wow, yet another exchange.
This is absolutely crazy. They keep trading battles, and as these Marauders walk up, the Vikings can do even more damage to these expensive Colossus units, but he is targeting with Stalkers on them, so he's trying to clean it up, and again, I don't know how this is happening, but 96 supply against 99 supply. These guys are exactly the same skill level.
I feel like I've been watching two men punch each other for several days straight. And they just keep getting up and continue fighting. But the good part for Loner is that his units operate better in small numbers. The one huge advantage that's very subtle that NEXGenius is getting is he's having slightly more upgrades. He is getting the +2 attack, and he already has the +1 armor upgrade finished. Meanwhile, Loner has only upgraded his infantry once, and that is really going to bite him as the game progresses.
And it looks like right now he's upgrading Templar starting energy. Now what that's going to do, that signals that we are going to see NEXGenius transfer into High Templars and use a lot of Sidestorm that we saw win him that last game. So when he switches tech like that against mostly Marine Marauder Viking unit composition, the Sidestorms are going to do wonderful.
We got the Vikings now just trying to snipe the Colossus. They move back here. Now remember, we do have a Ghost in the game, and he does have nukes. The Ghost, I get a shot of him. This unit right here, able to aim a nuke, which is constructed over here. And I'm really curious to see what his strategy is going to be.
And oh my god, Nick, your prediction at the start of the game was dead on. Go to the APM tab. NEXGenius' average APM this game has been 265, and Loner, with a no less impressive 200 himself, is now moving on to the right side, trying to siege up these tanks by the Xel'Naga watchtower. Loner is moving to the right now because he has an expansion below him. He needs to move this way to protect it, and there's the scan. He sees some free buildings. NEXGenius is trying to get his army in a good spot, and oh, there's a nuke. He's going to try to bait the army for it. It looks like NEXGenius sees it. NEXGenius, no, does not see it. That is not what you want to be doing right now. Will he get the nuke down? Will it actually land? He's storming. Oh, he takes it down.
Denied. He killed the ghost before then.
Completely crazy planning, but that is not good for Loner. Look at this. So many units coming up, but will he engage the planetary? He might lose his entire army if he does, but it looks like, oh, he's going to send 3 Zealots down and find this 4th base. Probably going to kill a lot of SCVs, and this is really going to stretch Loner thin.
Oh no, look at those 3 SCVs at the bottom right, already starting to wail away at those SCVs. NEXGenius has slowly pulled ahead. This mix of Zealots, Immortals, Colossi, and Templars posing too much of a problem for Loner, and now it's swinging around to this left side. Let's see if Loner can pull yet another miracle. Oh, here comes the huge push right now, trying to kite all of those Marauders back. Vikings trying to pick off the Colossus, but it looks like there's just a few too many units. The Immortals at the front dealing huge damage to the bottom right. The Zealots are dead, but the damage has been done, and it looks like Loner has repelled this, but is in a very, very awkward position unless he can kite these units and pick off these Immortals. Few of the Immortals do fall. He's starting to chew through those units at the front, and is he actually going to kill another army?
Apparently, neither of these guys can kill each other.
And it falls.
Wow. Well, you know, it was an army trade, but it really feels to me like Loner did not get the upper hand there. I think that, as you can see, 100 supply against 75. And NEXGenius, he's definitely ahead, but both of them just have 1 mining base. The further the supply drops, even if NEXGenius has more, the Terran units are going to do slightly better.
As you can see,
go to the left side of the map. He built an engineering bay
here.
He really doesn't want to expand.
This blocks the Nexus from being here as long as this engineering bay is present.
This is very common at the 2-minute mark in Terran vs. Zerg, but we are at the 32-minute mark, so just reminiscing a little bit.
As you can see, he just will do anything to buy time because he knows right now it's just all about these expansions. Note, gold base is completely empty. So I think this game may come down to the right expansion and the far left expansion.
The engineering bay is getting taken out. He'll be able to expand there now. That was some high quality entertainment there. Meanwhile, in the center of the map, looks like Loner is regrouping with little Marine Marauder troops, some Vikings there as well. And again, we keep saying that Loner needs to just spread his units out a little more, do little guerrilla harassment with medevacs, with small numbers of infantry, by keeping them clustered. Look at this big death army of Colossi, High Templar, and probes, interestingly enough.
Probes, the mineral patch is somewhat saturated right now, so he's going to have some of these probes to just try to absorb the fire.
That's right, and probes, not too bad against Marauders. They get no damage bonus against them, so sometimes you can surround them and make them so they can't run away. So I have no problem with him having probes in his army.
Looks like he's going to move down here again. The Protoss wants to get possession of this area here to make it harder for the Terran to go there. Viking attack, though.
Oh, loses a Viking, deals some damage to Colossus, but not enough right there. And it looks like NEXGenius thinking about attacking in, but once he attacks down there, he might lose position on the Terran army.
There is another Ghost out on the field for Loner. Does he have a nuclear missile yet? No, he has not built it, but he will be able to EMP those Templar. Oh, Templar getting caught out of place, and it looks like he will be able to retreat them adequately. And also Loner now expanding to the right, but there will be a Zealot there to block.
That's right. That command center, it's not going to land anytime soon.
Ghost in the middle, going for the EMP. Oh, it does manage to get taken out. There's his burning corpse in the top right of the screen.
I missed it. Sorry, guys.
Ouch. All right.
Looks like we got 2 Templars down here storming stuff.
My.
Oh, with 16 kills combined between them, a Viking is going to land to try to do a little bit of damage, and Loner is rapidly running out of options.
Now, he does not want to lose this command center. Losing this mining area is going to put NEXGenius way ahead, but he does just float it off, and NEXGenius decides to run because it is time for Loner to move out. He's going to get aggressive, and NEXGenius scrambling back into position to guard his expansions.
This is everything on the line for Loner right now. He needs to do a lot of damage. He's actually walking, oh no, to the expansion that doesn't have anything mining at it yet. He should only leave 3 Marauders there. He shouldn't commit too much of his army. He needs to get into a better position. He needs to siege those tanks up. He needs to siege them up. The expansion is going to fall, but here comes the big push. SCVs, probes, Zealots, everything is in this fight. All those Zealots are getting eaten alive. Loner's in a slightly better position, but the Storms are pushing him back. Oh my goodness.
Feedback on the medevac, and so many Storms of the Marauders. It looks like they are not going to get healed anymore. NEXGenius cleaning
and there's
up
a good game.
GG.
It's another best of 3.
That's right.
Wow. That was pretty sick. All right, we're going to get the information for what maps they're going to do next. They have to eliminate the maps, so we're going to talk about that for a little bit. I can't believe how evenly matched these guys are.
It's completely unbelievable. You know, Loner won in the winner bracket. Now NEXGenius has won a best of 3. They're going on to the final best of 3 to find the world champion of BlizzCon 2010.
Now, there will be a little delay in between this best of 3 and the next one because players have to do what we call eliminating maps and setting up the map pool for the series. Because we play on a different map in every single game, each player gets the opportunity to downvote one map they don't like. So, for instance, if I don't like the map Kulas Ravine, I can just easily downvote that. So, it looks like we will just discuss the match to make sure that the players will be actually going into the next best of 3. You can see them bustling behind us. But, I mean, what do you think Loner could have done differently in those 2 games to be able to set up?
You know, I feel like all these players at this tournament are attacking a little bit too much. When you get the lead, make your lead bigger. Take that third base quicker. He can't attack you, so you may as well do it. Now, when you go and attack into him, you've spent so much on your units, and suddenly it's even again because you lose your whole army.
Yeah. And I'm a little disappointed with Loner not spreading out his units. I cannot re-emphasize that enough. My biggest disappointment is that nuke didn't land. That would have been something special.
That would have been, you know, nuking him, baiting his army in. If he had landed that nuke, it would have been a different game. It would have taken out at least 3 Colossus, and being such an expensive unit, when that game went so low economy, I think Loner definitely could have won if that had landed.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing you want to do when you're eliminating maps is you want to say, what map am I the weakest on? You know, I'm not comfortable playing on it, or what map do I think my opponent is going to play best on? So that's what's going through their heads right now, and I'm sure after those 2 very evenly matched games, there's a lot of thought going on about, ooh, which one do I actually want to take out?
Kind of crazy how different those 2 matches panned out. In the first one, literally no tanks were made at all in the game, just bio and a lot of Vikings, and pretty passive play from Loner. But in the second game, we saw Loner being quite aggressive right at the start with that big tank marine force and Banshee harassment. Very, very unusual when comparing it to his previous play in the tournament.
And, you know, one other thing to really keep in mind here is this is going to be their 3rd best of 3 in as many hours. And that means that they both know each other's style very well. They've seen it so many times. So we may see just a split-second decision to do a different build order, either to trick your opponent or to punish him for what you know he's likely to do.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think there's a chance we're going to see some aggressive all-in builds here because that would be so different from what we saw previously? I mean, is there a possibility of that?
I mean, I think that it's a little bit of a mistake to be doing it at this point because these players have clearly demonstrated, not just in this series, but in their winners bracket finals, that they are just good at StarCraft 2. And whenever you do an all-in, you're essentially saying, I am only going to be playing this game for 7 minutes, and those are all the decisions that I have. And it's kind of funny how often when you're in a tournament situation, you get that urge to just, oh, I want to cheese and end it immediately. I want the easy win. But as we've clearly seen, there really aren't any easy wins in this final match.
But at the same time, I think that they would be foolish not to just consider what they could do. For instance, NEXGenius, sometimes he makes very quick nexuses. And because of that, why not maybe, you know, trick him a little bit, throw up a couple proxy barracks, and see if you can maybe just catch him off guard, get a quick free win. That would definitely throw him off his game.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a best of 3, so I think the first game is always the comfort zone for people to cheese because even if it loses, it has your opponent on their toes for the remaining matches. Best of 5s are normally where we frequently see cheeses in game 1 because even if you lose, you have plenty of time to catch back up. It's just kind of intense because everything's on the line. I think if Loner were going to cheese, he would have done it in this previous best of 3.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So if he's going to cheese, maybe we'll see it in the first game of the best of 3. Other than that, there's no feeling worse than just switching your strategy at the last second in the game that matters and losing.
Now it looks like the only person left to join the game is me. My computer's trying as hard as it can, and there we are.
So we're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the second best of 3 in the StarCraft 2 Grand Finals live from Anaheim, California at BlizzCon 2010. If you would like Loner to pull this series through for a first place victory, give a cheer for Loner!